Hey, welcome back to Real Faith, where faith becomes real. Today is just one of those quick little videos, a helpful hint. I have a Ford Bronco, and one of the things that maybe it's called I'm lazy, whatever it is, but I hate breaking down my rods, especially when I fish the river, because of the fact that I'm going to be I may be moving 100 yards or driving maybe a quarter of a mile just to change positions. And the last thing I want to do is break down my rod every time. And I want to make sure that I'm protecting my rod. My rods aren't getting damaged, aren't getting dinged. So I saw this and I kind of made some modifications. The Bronco is really nice because it's got room where you can put a 9-foot rod in here very carefully. Without breaking it down or bending it out of shape. And so I'm just going to show you just a quick, cheap way of, I'm getting ready to go to Montana to do some fishing and do some preaching. And so I've got 9-foot rods and I don't want them. I could break them down, it's a long way, but I'm going to try this out, see how it works, and thought I'd share it with you.
0, 1, 2, 3. Let's get started.
Oh, that's real good.
So here's what I've got. I've got these just common, you can get them at the dollar store. I ended up getting them at Walmart, these little floaties, and they're very inexpensive and cheap. I got some bungee cords. On the Ford Bronco, man, it's got these really cool things for future attachments and accessories, and it's got these built-in nuts that you can screw into. I went and got these O-bolts with it's a 5/16. I went ahead and just ran it in there. That way I can attach my bungee cord. And then what I'm going to do is I went ahead and cut these slots. I made a mistake on the first one, ended up having to go get another float, and I just cut it in. And you notice they're kind of at an angle. It's going to put some pressure on this bungee. It's going to do it, and when that does it, it kind of closes that down, and it gives it more of a secure. I may run another bungee over it to hold the rods in place so they're not loose or being able to be bounced around. And so I ended up cutting this so it fits right over that. It just fits perfect. And then I just put a slit all the way across so that I can just slide that right over that bungee. And so
let me kind of show you what I've got going here, and I'll put the bungee in place. That's nice and secure, okay? And then what I've done is I just create that slot, just put that baby right inside there. Slide that right over, put it into place.
Now, I didn't put it all the way to the bottom. I put it towards the side. That way it kind of, I've worked around strapping and with hanging signs and different things that I know things that if you put it towards the bottom, it would have worked, but I wanted a little bit more pressure on that. And so then what I've got, if you notice between the two front seats, where the headrest is, I went ahead and got another bungee. And then what I've done is I've got a smaller tube, and on these ones, if you notice, I created a slot. I just cut it nice at an angle, and that way when I put that rod in, I slide it in, and then it's not going to be able to just work its way straight up. It's got to go to the side. And so let's go ahead and put that one in place. And that way that works is it just literally it fits right on those seats. I can actually go a little bit tighter if I want to, which I may do, and that sits right there. Again, I'm gonna go a little bit tighter. That way it's got a little bit of pressure, but it's not going anywhere. Then what I've got here is, being an electrician, they make these little 45s. Up at the very front on the Bronco, they do have an accessory mount with a 1/4-inch bolt. I went and got this pre-made, fabricated 45 from Lowe's, and I just put a carriage bolt through there. And here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this right inside of here, just like that. Okay. And then what I've got up there is, I'll show you, I will mount this to the front. That allows those tips to have something to sit on. What I'm going to do is, again, put a little slit down angles. That way they slide in, but they're also not bouncing around. It's secure all the way from front to back. So let's go ahead and get this mounted up. So here we are. I've got Jesus with me everywhere I go. And so here's that little mount that I was talking about, 1/4-inch hole. It works out perfect. I'll show you exactly what I'm going to do here. And let me see if I can get this. So I've got my little rest here. I've got a washer somewhere. So here I've got my rest. I've got a washer. I'm going to put this kind of so it's a locking mechanism. You can go as far down as you want, but I'm going to go ahead and just get this positioned. Go about yay high. I'm going to lock that baby down. I'm not tightening it with wrenches. I don't need it to be extremely tight. I just need it to be there. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that right on top of there. Okay. And then what I will do is I will have my slits that I'll cut in there, and we'll be ready to go for the rods. So I went ahead and I've set the rod in place. Notice how it's kind of brought it down in there. It's got a little bit of wiggle room, but as I show you up front, that's not going to move much. If you notice the spacing, the first one I made the mistake. I went too close, and even though I'm going to have a cover and a sleeve on this rod here, I noticed that they were too close and they were banging, and the last thing I want to do is damage those reels. And so I spaced them out a little bit more. I put them at an angle, and it just rides right along there. It sits, if you notice, it sits on that next one, and then it slides into the very last one. So here's how it works. Is we've got this slid inside there. If you notice, with a little bit of pressure, it's kind of keeping that bound. One of those eyes is in there, and then as you look, I've got another one here. Again, I went at an angle. There's no pressure. You can literally just kind of push that in, and I'm not forcing that in any way. And then I can put up to 3-4 rods inside of there without any type of problems. And so now you can see I've got 3 rods in there. They're all safe. They're got a little bit of play on them. It's not going to be bouncing like crazy, but it does have a little bit of just relief on the poles. I've got each of them slid in, if you can see, at an angle. That way it's not going to damage them. And then finally, up here at front, I've got all 3 of them safe. They're not hitting the windshield. They're secure. This ain't gonna go anywhere. Hey, I hope this helps somebody. It's a really quick and inexpensive way to make sure your rods are protected while traveling, whether it be for a long haul, whether it be just up the road to a new spot. But I hope this helps you, and hey, God bless you. May you keep those lines tight, those nets full, those rods bent, and may you have a blessed day. Thanks for watching Real Faith, where faith becomes real.